Good morning. I am going to just kind of walk you guys through this DBQ one more time. Yesterday, when I was absent, I was just getting so many emails, and I'm a little concerned because this is really straightforward, you guys. There's nothing tricky about it. We went through all of this. I'm concerned that we are not able to look at text and be able to figure out an answer, let alone make connections between one thing and the next. So if you please pull up your DBQ 1.6 rule in the world, all of this should be filled out. And if it's not filled out, it's because you were not walking through this with us as a class when we were doing it. So I suggest that you go back to the Nearpod. You really don't need the Nearpod, guys. It really is very straightforward. The answers are in the information I provided you. Okay, so let me scroll down. Sorry, my home computer is so glitchy. So we've already gone through all the documents and filled out all the questions. What you needed to do or should have been doing on Wednesday for my 8A kids was doing the essay builder. Okay. You're going to use this note catcher as you go through and build your essay. The whole point of doing it. It's not just busy work, guys. We were actually analyzing text when we were doing this. Sorry. It's frustrating for me because I didn't go to work yesterday, so I don't have my school laptop. I have this old clunky dinosaur at my house that I usually just use for crafting. So hang on. Almost there. Okay, so I'm going to start with the bucketing. Again, what do you put in a bucket? Objects, right? So this is just a way for us to sort our categories. For 6 documents total, 2 each pair of documents was on the same topic. So document A and B talked about the war on terror. Document C and D talked about the financial cost of the war on terror, or the actions the United States took after 9/11. And then document E and F talked about the rise in Islamophobia, anti-Muslim attacks. Okay. And we created our chicken foot, which is our thesis statement. And now I told you guys that you could use my introductory paragraph, very fine with me, as a template. Please don't use it word for word. Try to paraphrase. Okay, your grabber is your hook. What are you going to set us up for to read? What's going to pull me in as the reader that really wants to make me read your essay? Okay, so use some visual, use some figurative language, okay, to try to paint a picture of what you're going to talk about, okay? So I close my eyes and I think about 9/11, and I just picture the New York City skyline with the Twin Towers burning and then subsequently crashing. We know about the events of that fateful day itself. The date, September 11th, invokes images of smoke and fire and dust. But what were the effects of the attacks after that day? Okay. The background, you should scroll right back up. I would do it, but my computer's being too glitchy, to where we did the summary of the background essay, and pop that right in here. It's that simple. Restating the question, we did this earlier as well. Pull that down from there. And then the thesis and the roadmap is just taking your chicken foot and putting it into a sentence. It sounds grammatically correct, okay? Sorry. Now, for our first body paragraph. Yeah, the struggle is real this morning. It's asking you for a baby thesis. The baby thesis is really just your topic sentence for the second paragraph. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the war on terror. Okay. And remember, I said, I want you to focus most of your energy on your body paragraphs versus your introduction and your conclusion. If you imagine this essay is like a sandwich, I want thin bread on the top and the bottom, because right now we're learning how to write an essay, and I want you to focus on the actual content that you are trying to relate to me. Okay, so I get this thing not to skip anymore, otherwise I'm just going to stick with it where I am. Okay. The other important thing to remember is you're going to cite. I had somebody email, they didn't know what a citation was. A citation is where you're telling me where you got the information from. Okay. So baby thesis 1 for paragraph 1 on war on terror is, again, set up our topic statement. Okay. Which is just telling me what you're going to talk about. Okay. One of the reasons that one of the consequences of 9/11, one of the effects or one of the results of 9/11 was George W. Bush, the president of the United States, declared a war on terror and promised that the war would not end until every terrorist had been eradicated. Okay, we got that from his speech in document A. So set up a statement. And guys, if you go down and look at my exemplar, this is coming directly from there. I'm going to plug this all into my actual rough draft. I am writing the essay as I go through this note catcher. So in the days following the attacks, the president committed the United States to ending terrorism everywhere. Okay, then I'm going to give my evidence. I'm going to pull something in for the text from the text. When George W. Bush declared this war on terror, he stated, "It begins with Al Qaeda, but it does not end there. It will not end until every terrorist group of global reach has been found, stopped, and defeated." And then I gave my credit to document A. And then argument, connecting the evidence to the thesis. How am I, this is my commentary piece. How am I relating what I said I was going to talk about with the evidence I pulled in? Okay, so almost 2 decades after 9/11, the US military was still actively fighting terror in 76 different countries, with activities ranging from the establishment of military bases to training counterterrorism, counter-terrorist groups, and air and drone strikes. This came from the map that we had in document B. Okay, again, go back up the top of your this document where we analyze these 2 documents, A and B, and pull your evidence down. It's that simple. And then we're just going to repeat this for body paragraph 2 and 3. Okay, so our next one is going to talk about the financial costs. We're going to talk about the like we had an article that we read, and then we had a graph, a pie chart. So my thesis for bucket 2, or bucket 2 was the category of the financial cost of 9/11. This came at a hefty price tag, with a direct cost estimated at over $3 trillion, with more than 50% of that spent on funding wars, both present and future, and homeland security. That came from document C. And then David Sanger, in his article, The Price of Lost Chances, talks about opportunity costs, less quantifiable dollars that may have been lost to things like public education, healthcare, and national debt. Okay. My argument, again, connecting the argument to the thesis. Okay. We can never be truly certain of those dollars being used elsewhere. The hypothesis is nevertheless valid when you consider the current state of the United States. Okay. It's me inserting my thinking to connecting the 2. Okay. Finally, we're almost done. Look how fast this went. I'm not reinventing the wheel for every piece of this. I'm going back up to my document and pulling it in. Okay, I promise it's that simple. So bucket 3 had to talk about Islamophobia or anti-Muslim attacks and violence that happened in the wake of 9/11. So a looming social consequence of 9/11 was Islamophobia, or the fear who practiced the Muslim faith. According to the FBI data, can I use this chart? Go back up to where we analyzed documents E and F and pull it down into your evidence piece, okay? A chart for the FBI shows that the attacks that occurred in 2000 jumped significantly in 2011. In 2001, excuse me, then this is a sevenfold increase. There was a steady rise until 2015 when Donald Trump stirred up the sentiment once again, causing a big increase. Finally, 2007 photograph, the 2 photographs evidence shows some graffiti depicting a statement that said "Go home murderers" on the Islamic Center of America, document F. And another photo, we see a Muslim woman holding a sign referencing the US Constitution saying "We the people are greater than fear." Now I'm going to get to the concluding paragraph. Look, it's done, guys. How long have I been on this Zoom with you? 5 minutes? 6 minutes? It took 10 years to kill Osama bin Laden, but the long-term effects still persist. Okay, this is going to be the bottom bread on our sandwich. We must remember our democratic ideals and embrace the freedom of religion, for if we don't, the terrorists shall have won. Okay, this is my essay. When you go to your rough draft next, you're literally just going to take all of the text that mine's in red and pop it into the rough draft. And then what do you do with the rough draft? Read it out loud to yourself in the mirror, record yourself, ask mom, dad, your brother, your dog, your cat, whoever, to read it out loud, to hear it, to make sure your grammar flows, that it sounds good, polish it up and make it sound pretty, okay? And you can then go ahead and copy. You're going to literally copy your text, go to Canvas, and paste that into the text box where the essay is done, okay? This video will count as your attendance for today. Please reach out if you have any questions regarding this process, but I think you guys are really making it, you're like so nervous about doing it right. You're making it way harder than it really is. I need you to relax. You've done most of the heavy lifting already. Just follow the process and you will do fine. As I've said to you several times, I will never be disappointed in you if you do your best and work really hard versus just not do it at all or give up, right? So please, please, please do your absolute best. Again, I'm just going to put this in the student view so you can see how you're going to submit. Submit assignment. A text box will pop up if my computer ever wants to get there. And you'll hit Control V or you right click and Control paste it. And yeah, it's just not gonna work for me, guys. Sorry. And paste the actual essay in there. Okay, please don't send me a Google Doc link. Again, there's the rubric right there for you. Just copy and paste. And if you're not sure how to do it, again, you hit the submit assignment, a text box will pop up and you copy and paste the body, your entire essay, not the Google Doc, not the graphic organizer that we've done, the packet. Okay, you're just going to submit your actual essay in the text box. Got it? You are submitting your packet separately for a rehearsed grade. The essay itself is your perform grade. All right, I hope this was helpful. And again, stay safe and dry today. I really appreciate you guys. I know, like I said, I know I'm asking a lot of you, but this will be so worth it in the end. You're going to be so proud of yourself, as I'm sure I'm going to be proud of you too. Okay.